All right, guys, we're out here at the Bobcat. So we're going to attempt to show you MaxControl. So that's MaxControl, so you can operate it with your iOS device, phone, or tablet, iPad. So what is MaxControl? Well, it is a remote control system that you can get for your Bobcat, and you can use it to control the Bobcat remote control on your phone. This Bobcat I bought used, and then I had MaxControl installed in it. It's like $2,500. When will I use it? I'm not sure, but one of my main things that I thought of was, well, if I need to have two machines in one place and there's only one of me, I could drive one machine and operate the other machine behind me or in front of me with my phone. I saw a video where there's a guy that he backfills while he's in his excavator. Saw a video where a lady drove the Bobcat, opened up the gate, and then drove the Bobcat through the gate. Is it for everything? No, it's not. Can you move a pile of dirt with it? You probably can, right? Would you want to load and unload trucks? I don't know. If you got really good at it, you might be able to do that, or you might want to do that. Obviously, if you're filling in a trench and things like that, and you're trying to make sure it does stop as soon as you let go of the control of the stick on your phone. But is it going to stop as quick as you would? It probably will. But the other thing is you can't feel the load, right? Whereas if you're in there and you feel the load, you're like, oh, hey, this is a heavy load, right? So you can't feel it like you would if you were driving. But it does have its advantages. Like I said, moving from place to place, trying to do two jobs at the same time, it can do that. If I was, putting dirt down somewhere and I was hand raking it, I could have the machine go get, I could go get the dirt and bring it back and rake it. It would save you from getting in and out of the machine. I could run the post pounder with it, which I might try to do someday. But the post pounder you can operate completely from inside the machine. Once we get that hooked up, I should have everything ready for it. Might try that in a few days. But the biggest thing is just being able to move the machine from place to place. I have seen videos where guys loaded it and unloaded them from trailers using MaxControl. That seems like that might be a logical way to use it as well. So we'll see if we can get the machine moving. Having trouble getting both cameras going. So we'll have to turn on the second camera and by manual here. So we're going to see if it will start first. So looks like it might get ready to start. So you see the lights flashing on the top. That's MaxControl has been activated. I pushed the start button on here. Now it's going to go through. It goes through a sequence, basically checks to make sure that safety features are good to go. I don't know if it's going to work or not. We'll see. So it makes sure that the lap bar is up, the door is latched, joysticks are in neutral, things like that. It also has to, locate me, which I should be doing right now. I think it's flashing. So a couple times I've tried this. One time it worked great. One time, the next time it didn't work as good. Has to do with the connection between your phone and the machine more than anything. And I'm having trouble with the afternoon sun is just blazing down on my phone, on me, so I'm using my sunglasses, but then I can't see my phone as good because my sunglasses are tinted just enough to make it annoying. But I really want to get a video of this done so I can show you it. This doesn't look like it's going to connect. And I have really no idea why, other than the fact that I'm doing a video. Very frustrating. We'll try again. Alright. So I'm not sure what the problem. It took a little bit of time to connect to it, but we'll see if we can show you the screen here. I don't know. The sun is so bad. Just so bad. So there's the screen on the phone, and you have everything on here, just a little bit different. So you can use your got to push the operate button, same as if you're in the machine. So there's operate, push to operate, and I can put the boom up and move the Bobcat forward. And down here in the bottom corner, the camera keeps blacking out on me. Got the throttle, so I can run the throttle up a little bit, move a little bit faster. Back up. So I mean, it's pretty cool. So on the controller, you have up here's your emergency stop. It has an emergency stop on the back of the machine, which you can push also. This is your loader. This is your machine. You got your level bucket. You got your horn. Down here, if you push this, it opens up another menu. This is your auxiliary hydraulics. This is on, off, and then this is your paddle buttons up here for the auxiliary hydraulics. Close that, and then you can pull up your gauges to see what you got going. There's your hours, voltage, PSI, temperatures, and then this one will give you can do controller settings. Haven't done anything with that yet, so it's pretty cool. And then you do have snail down here, so we're just gonna see if we can drive it around a little bit. Actually, I'm going to, so I can't hold my phone down there, plus it's kind of loud, so I'm going to move over here, and I'm just going to stand like right here, and we're going to, well, we'll turn the camera as we go. We're going to just go, we're going to go over and pick up a bale. Let's see if we can pick this bale up. So we'll turn the camera a little bit, and we're just going to go over there and see if we can pick up that bale. I mean, oh, see, I got to go a little bit. There you go. I mean, that's pretty cool to be able to do that. I'm a little off center, but it doesn't seem to matter, right? I mean, that's pretty cool. Could I do that from inside my truck or sitting on my other tractor? I probably could. So right there gives you a good thing right there. I could wrap bales with this machine, right? And sit on the tractor. I wouldn't have to get off the tractor. So some guys have remote control wrappers. I can have a remote control loader tractor, which is very cool. Very, very cool. Now, another thing that I thought of, which we'll show, we're going to do a video on that if I get the chance. But I bought a camera. So I bought a cheap. Actually, we started doing the video. My daughter Letty and I started doing the video for it, and I couldn't even find that the camera is. I don't know if the answer is that it's so cheap, but it doesn't even really have a name brand on it. And see if I can remember which way is curl and uncurl and all that good stuff. See if we can leave that bale there. There we go. So that's pretty cool, right? So anyway, I bought this camera, and it's a Bluetooth camera that will connect to your phone. It was like $20, and the only thing I did was I think I Amazon searched it, and I just wanted one that's magnetic, right? So we'll just drive it forward here. So there you go. Now the other thing is that, see, I'm getting, yeah, that's pretty good. And there, I can shut it off. So the other thing that's cool about it is that you can, once you connect to it, it'll stay connected for 4 hours. So I should be able to, as long as I can keep my connection. Now, what I noticed the other day was that out here you're using cellular data, and that was the problem the other day, because you have to give it time to say, must be it has to have time for the machine to connect to the phone, and then for the machine to say, to identify the connection, and then the phone or machine, one of them, identifies that you're not on Wi-Fi. And once it does that, then it seems to operate fine after that. But it did take a little bit of time to get it connected the first time. But I should be able to push start, and it should start right back up. And it does have a sliding feature. So you push the power button on here. I don't know how you can see that. Camera's always black out. Power button on there, and then it will pop up with a slide feature, and it will say slide to start. So it's like a two-step starting process, which makes sense as far as, like a safety thing, right? If your phone is in your pocket and you have the app open, you wouldn't want it to accidentally start. So that's pretty cool. But I bought a camera, and this Bluetooth camera, and we're going to do a video of that. But one thing I thought was pretty cool about it was it's magnetic, so it can stick right on the front of the Bobcat. And then it will be on my phone. So the only problem with that is that I wouldn't be able to see my controller. So if I connect that to, say, another phone or an iPad or whatever, then I could see where the Bobcat is. So if I was going to load a bale or whatever onto the wrapper, I would be able to see, hey, I'm close enough to the wrapper that I can put the bale down. I actually bought the camera for the post pounder because it's going to take a little bit getting used to run the grapple on the post pounder, because you pick the post up. That's why I bought the camera, because I think I can position it right on the boom, and as long as it doesn't pound hard enough to knock it off, it should work. And I think if that didn't work, you could put it back in where the boom connects, right over top of the track, and that would probably work too. So that's good. That's an idea too. But just to be able to load bales, and could I unload them off the wagon and load them on the wrapper with this, with the remote? I definitely could, right? I mean, that would be very cool, very very time saving. Saves you from, let's face it, right? A Bobcat, a skid steer, doesn't matter what brand, they're not the most fun things to get in and out of. JCB, yeah, maybe, but they're still, the fact that you have to get down into a small space, right? So I think the remote feature is going to have some really cool aspects. Now, post pounding with it, I think you probably could. I would probably try it, because at least you only have to be within 300 feet. So if it didn't work, you could be far enough away that you wouldn't be in harm's way, and you could just push the power button and shut the whole machine down. And then you also have an emergency stop button. So anyway, that's MaxControl. So I've got it going. I'll try to get this camera down here going, and I'll see if I can restart it. So you just push the power button, and it's going to identify it, hopefully. Got the sun is like beaming down on me. It's right there. And it should pop up and say slide to start. Camera keeps blacking out. It should say slide to start. So it didn't do it this time. I don't know. So there it is. Maybe you have to hit it twice. So there's slide to start. And it honks the horn. It's just a little annoying. And then it starts. And then we can drive it. So we're going to pick up the loader. Oh, we got to push operate. Pick up the loader. And then we're going to drive it right at us. It is nice. It always puts it back to idle. It doesn't matter what the switch is on the inside for idle, it's always going to be at idle. And there it goes, running right away from us. And then it just got stopped. And it shuts it right off. So pretty cool. So that's the cooling fan that's running. So we'll go over here and I want to just show you a little bit. So right up here, so if you're operating the machine, which is, I know it's a little noisy, you have right here is the emergency stop button right there. So if you're running it by remote or an operator, a friend, you know, somebody's operating for you and you see something unsafe, you can run up there and hit that button. Now it is part of the MaxControl, which is kind of weird they don't just come with that anyway, because it's actually a pretty good feature. You think about it, where if you had two guys out on a job doing a job together, you know, and one guy is getting a little too close to something or whatever, you got the, you know, the cab, the doors closed and they can't hear each other, it makes pretty good sense to for another guy to be able to just slam that stop button. You know, it's just like one on a, you know, like on a youth ATV. You know, my kids' ATV, they're little youth four-wheelers, they all have a kill switch. So you can, you know, pull cord, you can pull, or you can run up and pull it. And they all have the, well, the little ones have the, what do you call it, the DSD that Ski-Doo used to call them that, where it comes off and it's a key, but it pulls off. So that's kind of like the same thing. Pretty cool feature. You know, sometimes you may have two people working on a job and the door's closed and you can't hear each other, and the other guy can just push the stop button and say, hey, didn't you hear me? You're too close. Or hey, didn't you hear me? You're not getting close enough, or something like that. Or didn't you hear me? You're leaking hydraulic fluid, or whatever, you know. So pretty cool little feature. The other day I tried a video. I had a hard time getting it hooked up, and then I figured out that it was that cellular issue. So you have to kind of wait for it to go through a little bit more of a check than I would like, as far as like, you're not going to just run out here and, you know, fire it up that quick. But it's pretty quick, but it took, you know, a couple minutes longer than I would have thought. But it goes through like the checks, and the machine sends signal to the phone sends signal back, and then it identified that it was on cellular network. And then once it did that, then it works fine. So you have to wait for that cellular. From what I've noticed, it has to identify that you're using cellular network. It says, do you want to use cellular data? And you have to wait for that to come up, and once you click that, then it's good to go. If you try to operate it before that comes up, it kind of got stuck. I think that's what happened anyway. It kind of got stuck in limbo, and then it wouldn't let me connect to the machine, because it was like it was connected on, must be like the machine was registering that your phone had already connected, but it wasn't connected to but it wasn't completely connected to the phone. So I ran into that problem, and the only way I could get it to like come out of that limbo mode was to hit the emergency stop and shut off. Actually, that I hit the emergency stop and that didn't even work. So then I ended up that I started the machine up and just ran it for a few seconds, shut it back off, and with doing that, it reset that connection. And so it's kind of like you know, you'd be getting a wheel for internet. It wasn't showing me anything like that, but it was somewhere like halfway connected. I'm not real sure how to explain it, but that's what it was. So it was like the phone said, hey Bobcat, I'm here, and Bobcat said, hey phone, I got you. And then the Bobcat was, then the phone or the Bobcat, one of them was supposed to say, hey, let's use cellular network, and the other one's supposed to say, hey, you're supposed to ask first. And it just wasn't asking, so then it wouldn't connect. So, but on Wi-Fi, I mean, if it was inside a building or something like that and had Wi-Fi, it wouldn't even ask that. It would just, I think it would just connect super fast. So, and I don't have the manual, so I'm kind of wondering about that. Maybe it will connect through hotspot. I'm not sure, you know, whether it would do that or not. I'm not sure that makes any difference as far as what the machine requires. But I know some guys in like super remote areas, they don't use MaxControl. They use the actual big remote control system, which is like $10,000 or $15,000. But for me, for what I do, I think it'll work fine. We're getting, you know, cell coverage is getting better and better. I have AT&T, which seems to work real good on our farm, but I'm not real worried about it working everywhere. I mean, heck, if it will work right here in this field and I can unload bales off the wagon and load them on the wrapper, I'll be satisfied. Like that. That's, to me, that would be worth the money, worth the investment, right? You figure how many years you're going to do it, right? How many bales are you going to unload and load on the wrapper, and how many years you're going to do it. You know, it's almost like an extra person, right? So that would be super. And if you're baling right here, heck, you could probably pick them up out of the field. If you were right here in this little area, you could probably pick them up out of the field and run them right over there and wrap them. You wouldn't even have to use a wagon. So as long as the Bobcat didn't get more than 300 feet away from you, so these, you know, a few bales right here you could do easily. So that's pretty cool. And even if you had to walk out in the field a little bit, it still beats getting in and out of the Bobcat, you know, because you figure you have to get in it to get the bale, put the bale on, get out of it, go wrap the bale, get back in it to go get the next bale. So you're in and out, you know, twice every bale. So if you did, you know, 10 bales, you'd be in and out 20 times. So anyway, that's gonna wrap it up. We're gonna call that a video. I'm gonna try to put the two cameras together. I don't know why the GPS remote control for my phone, my cameras, doesn't seem to want to run both cameras today. I don't know. They both wanted to update, but then they wouldn't do multi-camera. So I had to do one manually. But we're going to call that a video. That is Bobcat MaxControl on my 2024 Bobcat T770. Thanks for watching. Please stay tuned for more from Triple D Farms, Triple D Maple, and Triple D Cabins. Have a great day.